Moving along in our series, let's take a look at chimneys. Once again, this particular project doesn't have a chimney, but we're going to throw one in just as a reference to show you how it would work uh, and maybe look at groups versus components again from a chimney perspective. So we'll go back into our file. Actually, first want to show you again another junkyard file we have. This one's blocks, elevations, chimneys, and more specifically chimney caps. Some ones that have been created. Maybe we'll just take this one here just as a quick reference. Uh, Maybe before we do, we will grab this material and paint the terracotta top, and there we go. So let's grab this and plop it into our file. To make things easy, I'm actually going to hide my 3D roof just so I have clearer snap points. So really you want to put the chimney wherever it needs to go, and that would really come from your AutoCAD file or design, whatever we're dealing with. This one obviously doesn't have one, but uh, wherever it is, let's say they were putting one here. Let's just draw. Whoops. Comma 48. Let's just draw something in real quick. Maybe we'll center it on here, and so maybe this is where it was going to go. Say it's going to go right there, and so we can just dimension our center point from a reference perspective, and say it's 13 foot from that corner and 9, 10 and a half from that corner. So we will touch the face of the wall there, and like we said, we know we're 13 feet up, so we'll go 13 feet, and we'll grab the midpoint here and touch the wall, and we know that we are 9 foot 10 and a half. And then if you have an elevation height already known, from your finished floor, we can drop it all the way down and say 34 feet is where it's going to be, which is obviously higher than what we would want it to be, but whatever it's supposed to be. Or you can always come in and hit your peak and know that you're supposed to be, I believe it's 2 feet above any ridge, so you can show it there. Maybe we'll go just a little bit higher, so we want to see it from our front elevation a little bit. Standing here. So that looks fine for now. So right now, this is a component, which is fine. Maybe just gonna randomly place another one over here, and you know what? Maybe let's do this. Maybe it was part of our porch, and it was gonna go here. I know distance-wise this really wouldn't work, but let's just, for example, we're just going to leave it there. So this is a 30 by 30, and maybe this one we want to be a little bit bigger. You know what? Maybe let's move this one just a little bit there, and this one here. So we're going to do a nice double chimney. So now we have 3 chimneys, and I'm going to show you some different ways we can go about what chimneys really want to be. Meaning, these two, say we want a little bit bigger since they're our main chimney, this one we want smaller, so we need to make sure that we make this one unique, so that we can come in here and we want to make this one bigger, say by a foot that way and a foot that way, so we want a nice big one. Maybe this one's even like a double clay pot chimney or something like that. So you again need to be aware of components versus groups, because we want this one to be a smaller single and this one to be a bigger double, so that just be aware as to what are groups versus components. And the other piece is how we deal with the actual chimney itself. Theoretically, if if it's a real chimney, you can just simply run this all the way down to your finished floor. Maybe it's seen through the windows because the chimney would be there. Whatever. The other idea is you can simply find your roof outline and chop it. And so it's literally just sitting on your roof, and you're not dealing with it the interior right now because you don't want to get that specific on things. So similarly, we can pull this one down. Maybe this one, since it's going to be part of this, we do want to pull it down and let it be there and let it be part of that. And obviously, the architecture would adjust to whatever it needed to be and all that good kind of stuff. So really more of the point was to show you how you can use the same chimney and alter it to make it different. How you'd want to do groups versus components or what have you. And even inside of here, what's great is if this is right now this is a group, and really this should have been a component, because now if I edit this one does not. And more specifically, let's make this a component now. Copy this over. So what I really would have wanted, and I think I can still make it work, I'll just adjust this one real quick. Let me come in here, get rid of this one, show you why it really works much better as this detail having been a component. Because that even though this chimney and this chimney are different, because this is a different component from this, say this clay pot really ends up getting altered, but you want it changed everywhere, we'll just really exaggerate it, do something funky like that. You can see that the clay pot changes everywhere, and that's what we want. Even though the chimney is different, the clay pot really wants to be the same. So again, just really items to be aware of and dealing with components versus groups, and that's really where chimneys are going to have their power, and really what you want to look for when it comes to dealing with chimneys.